Welcome back to the 100 spin test. This is episode 122, and we're continuing to test progressions as we wade once again into the murky waters of roulette strategies. You know the type. They look great on the surface until they crumble, like finding a 500 simoleon gift card for a store that went bankrupt that afternoon. Isn't it ironic, don't you think? Ever wonder if these so-called guaranteed wins can withstand real-world distractions and the way our brains actually work? I guess that you're in the right place. Today's test is the base 5 roulette strategy, as featured on the July 7, 2025 episode of Ninja Gamblers on YouTube. It's a simple 5-number straight-up bet that uses a deviation on D'Alembert. It ladders up after a loss and resets after a win. For ease of scaling and analysis, I've kept the unit size at 1 simoleon. Put 1 unit on 5 individual numbers. Let's bring up Faco 3000 to pick numbers for us. Okay, so we're going with 16, 21, 23, 30 and 32. We're testing this on a European wheel. That's 37 numbers in total. With 5 numbers in play, you've got 32 ways to lose, or more optimistically, a 13.5% chance to hit on any spin. And thanks to that cadmium green 0, the house still enjoys an obstinate 2.7% edge. Since this is a progression-based strategy, wins and losses scale with your progression level with an expectation that you will go through multiple progressions before a win. Hit a number, and you win 31 times your bet on that number. Miss, and you lose the entire bet. The whole bet depends on the progression to recoup losses. Your potential profit climbs, until it doesn't. Eventually, the losses pile up faster than the wins can dig you out. That's why I've included a table showing the progression. Here's the kicker. A 300-unit bankroll gives you just 10 chances. And about 1 in 17 runs will end in a bust. That may not sound risky, but in gambling terms, it's an alarmingly frequent occurrence. If you need to keep going to 15 progressions, you will need a bankroll of 540 units, and if you hit on spin 15, you will just break even. Let's see if base 5 can hold up, or fall flat, in 100 spins. Since I have unlimited fake money, I can progress this bet to absurdity. The roulette wheel is just one of several visual tools on this dashboard, included to track this strategy as it plays out. These visuals are here for transparency, so you can judge the data for yourself and follow the strategy's performance, good or bad. For full details on this test and past results, see the links in the description below.
Now let's speed things up and watch the progress. I'll be back at the end to summarize.
This was a surprisingly lucrative strategy. We walked away with a profit of 395 simoleons. Imagine what you could buy if there was anywhere in the world that actually accepted simoleons. We bottomed out at minus 157 before reaching a high water mark of 995. A brutal streak of 16 consecutive losses at the end shaved 600 simoleons off the balance, so make no mistake, this strategy is volatile. All bets that I present favor the house, so I don't recommend any of them, even if a player occasionally walks away ahead. But if I were forced to pick one, it might be this: if you can accept that your buy-in is gone the moment you place it, and anything you walk away with is just a bonus. The key is not to push your luck. Rewards are possible, but it's not a system. It will eventually explode, and spectacularly. Looking at stats, on average, it took 6.0 spins to land a win. Around 68% of wins happened between 2 and 10 spins, and 95% within 14. The standard deviation was 4.2, indicating wide dispersion. Wins weren't tightly clustered, reinforcing the presenter's suggestion to bulk up the bankroll to survive multiple long runs. This system was profitable on 91% of the spins, largely thanks to 4 wins in the first 25 spins. That allowed us to build up the bankroll and survive the first long losing run. We got lucky again when the second run ran out of time before draining us. There were no repeaters this time, though we did see a back-to-back win, which is better than nothing. The hottest numbers were 10, which had 6 hits, followed by 5, 29, and 32, which had 5 hits each. Of these, only 32 was among our selected numbers. The coldest numbers, those hitting only once, were 6, 9, 14, 19, 21, 23, and 36. Of those, 21 and 23 were among our picks. Instead of traditional win-loss streaks, I'll break down the losing runs by progression lengths. We had one progression that reached level 15 and failed, simply because we hit the 100 spin limit. We also had a progression to level 15 that bailed us out of our only dip into deficit. Beyond that, 2 progressions reached level 11. 1 reached level 7. 4 reached level 6. 1 reached level 5, and 2 reached level 3. Regarding rankings, Base 5 ranked second out of 145 tested so far in terms of raw profit loss. I'm skipping percent change ranking until I adjust the methodology to reflect full progression bets instead of just multiplying the base bet by 100. That fix is coming. Flat betting would have earned just 4 units. Instead, we risked everything, sweated bullets, and walked away with nearly 100 times that. All things considered, it was a surprisingly good result. But let's be honest. I played with dimes on a real online casino, and I started getting nervous by progression 5. That's with tiny bets. The stress would be exponentially worse with larger stakes. Casinos are profit-driven businesses. They're not here to make you rich. They're here to take what you're willing to give. So never accept gambling advice at face value. Test every strategy. Use whatever tools you have. Run it more than once. Look for cherry-picked data and winning stories that hide losses. Read the critiques. Understand the flaws. Stay skeptical. If someone discourages questions or deletes criticism, that's a red flag. You're not a hater for asking how or why something supposedly works. You're doing what they won't, thinking critically. Yes, some strategies will work, for a while. If they don't hold up over time, they're not systems. They're just luck in disguise. Know your risks. Know your limits and treat every piece of gambling advice, especially the confident ones, with caution.
Good luck until the next time.